Previously on He Who Forsakes the Crown.
I'm going on the survey.
The de Montes think they're too good for this type of thing. He's hiring random people, a peasant woman nonetheless.
It's too much.
I'm not going back, Jacob.
I thought you were dead.
It isn't my fault you don't know how to swim.
It's not my fault you're afraid to visit.
He is alive.
What is your name?
Demetrius.
I'm worried about you. You have too much on your plate.
The Chancellor's here.
The following story contains adult themes and depictions of violence and trauma. This podcast is not for children. Please be advised.
Each day, every hour, every second, I'm enthralled. As I sit on my throne, I recall each and every creation that I've made. Dio, Enola, and Ophelia. From the realm's darkness, they have risen, and I have shaped them with my own two hands. However, that isn't my point of interest. That figure, that man, he looks like a formidable foe. I've heard about the humans, the ones Reinach cares so deeply about. I don't know how they have entered the realm, but simply, I don't care. However, he has something that I want. Those shadowy figures that run with that armored foe. I want them for myself.
Father.
Speak, Ophelia.
That human, he isn't going to hurt us, is he?
I would never allow that here.
Enola is scared, Father.
Then simply do not be, child.
Are you afraid, Father?
I am not afraid.
Then why must you watch from a distance?
A good idea, my child. I shall see to it myself. Good. They should fear me. There he stood, donned in his copper-colored armor, wearing a stupid helmet that made him look like a horse. There you are. I think you know why I'm here. This realm is not meant for anyone of flesh and bone. You, humans, should know your place. Turn your tail and head home. This place isn't meant for you.
Then where do I belong?
That voice, it doesn't match. That's simply... How fast? Really fast.
I have no place.
Dark long hair cascaded off their shoulders. Nails dark and long, sharper than daggers. Teeth. Teeth meant to do harm. However, that face... This was no human. This was no man. This was a goddess. Listen, goddess. I do not want to hurt you. I'm not like you and the other gods. I do not wish to hurt you with my touch. Goddess. She must be in pain. No. Who am I kidding? It's going to kill her. She doesn't look like she's in pain. She's not dead either. Then maybe, just maybe.
Father.
My child, what are you doing down here?
I didn't want you to be alone, Father.
Wait.
The goddess stopped, looking at little Ophelia beside me.
You did that?
Yes, I did.
Like me.
Father, run!
You haven't moved him already?
I was going to. The doctor said that we can't. He's not healed enough. We're risking more injury to him.
He can't stay here.
Captain, what are the odds that the Chancellor even finds him? He shouldn't be suspicious over his absence. And what would he even be doing in the infirmary?
The Chancellor is a very peculiar man. We're not going to take any chances. If only the door had a lock.
We can station a guard outside the door.
That would cause too much attention.
Or we could barricade it from the inside.
A security hazard. What if we needed to get in quickly? Perhaps we don't need to move him alone. He'd be fine if we carried the bed, wouldn't he?
But, Captain, there's no way we'd be able to fit the frame through the doorway.
By the gods. When can he be moved?
The doctor said a week at best.
A week of the Chancellor in the castle looking around. There's no way he's clueless. Something must be amiss for him to be returning, especially by himself. If I remember him correctly, he was a bit eccentric. Shut down the entire hall.
Captain?
We suffered some damages recently. We can't house any of the sick right now. We'll have to make it convincing.
You would have me vandalize the castle?
If the Chancellor finds the prince, we'll have far much more to worry about.
Yes, Captain.
We're lucky he arrived so late. He'll sleep in.
What will you do, Captain?
It's time he's gotten a proper greeting. In my early days of working under His Royal Highness, I can recall just what the King's court looked like. The prince had warned me. He said I'd be frowned upon, judged harshly. He said that he couldn't care less what the court thought of me, and it was never his intention to win their favor with his mercenaries. However, they were predictable, and I'd dealt with them many times before. They'd never respect me, nor treat me as an equal. But if I could smile pretty enough, perhaps I could conceal the truth here. I did a few things, like sending a maid ahead with breakfast for him. I sent Kisume to stay in the prince's room, and I called for some men to begin working on the infirmary hall. We must be respectable, we must be amiable, and we must be discreet.
Enter.
Chancellor Lanzini, it's a pleasure to greet you again. He's different from what I remember of him. His once short and neat blonde hair has taken a longer, more unkempt appearance. His eyes were still blue. His frame was still built. And he was still dressed expensively. That was something I could always note about the Chancellor. His lavish taste. The way his clothing was finely pressed and gleamed in colorful hues.
You're the little captain, are you not? The one the prince hired?
Yes, Chancellor. My name is Captain Kina.
You're smaller than I remember.
I'm here to formally welcome you.
Welcome me? But where is Prince Sane?
3 winters have passed, Lord Chancellor. The prince has departed for the survey.
The survey? He has left the castle unattended?
The castle has been kept under the guard's watchful eye. He completed the necessary work for the year before leaving.
But what if an emergency befalls the kingdom?
Then we're quite lucky, Lord Chancellor. You've arrived just in time. I have no doubt you'll be able to handle the situation dutifully. Allow me to reacquaint you with the castle.
The craftsmanship of the castle is like no other. I've traveled all over this side of the world, and the point cannot be compared.
And where exactly have you traveled recently, Lord Chancellor? Might you enlighten me?
Most recently, we've spent our time in Kilahara.
Kilahara, you say?
Yes. Have you ever been?
No, Lord Chancellor.
It's very different from here. Everyone in that palace is dressed so strangely, in robes nonetheless. And did you know that they eat their fish raw?
They must have a very different lifestyle.
I can't understand the appeal. His Majesty is absolutely enthralled by it all.
Is he now?
He's quite good friends with the King and Queen, you see. We've visited over 5 times now. Every time we go, he insists we stay. The court is still there now. We've been staying for the past few months. They seem to be good people. But the country is just a bit too exotic for liking. You'd fit right in over there. You've really never been?
Well, my...
Great gods, what happened here?
Riley took my command a bit excessively. Dirt was strewn across the ground, paper was peeling off the wall, and one of the doors of the empty rooms was knocked off its hinges. I forgot to tell you, Lord Chancellor. We're undergoing some renovations to our medical wing.
Why would you ever choose to change the castle's design?
Unfortunately, it wasn't our choice. The rebellion sieged an attack on us. The hall was completely destroyed. We've spent all our time working to get it back in order.
And the sick?
Anyone housed by us has been sent to the temple in town for now.
Rebel scum.
There'll be no aesthetic changes to the hall. Just a restoration.
Good. This is all still rather unsightly. That won't do. Cover it up.
Yes, Lord Chancellor.
Perhaps a curtain or a barricade of some sort.
You're very wise, Lord Chancellor. I'm ashamed I didn't think to do it myself.
Nobody can blame you, sweetheart. What could you have been expected to do?
Hey there, happy 4th of the month. You are listening to episode 28 of He Who Forsakes the Crown. The numbers just keep getting bigger, guys. It's a little crazy. What can I say about 28? I don't know. It's a small one, but I like it. I had a lot of fun with the dialogue in this one. I think that the actors did stunning, as always. And there's still more to look forward to. So hey, if you're looking to see what we're up to on our downtime, you can check us out on social media. That's going to be Chapter 15 Studios on Instagram and Twitter. Instagram. What is it, in TikTok? And of course, CH15 Studios on Twitter. 15 is always the number. If you're enjoying the show, you can subscribe, leave a rating, one of those things. You know, we're getting to the end game and I kind of feel like doing whatever I want. So I'm going to do ad break shoutouts from now to the end of the series. And if you want to be forever memorialized in the show, you can totally do that. You just got to make yourself known to me in some way, respectfully. So I actually don't know the name of the person I'm shouting out, but I do know they're a listener of the show because one of my beloved voice actors who plays Aspen and a bunch of other characters told me that you started listening to it and that you called it addicting. So shout out to you. If I ever learn your name and you want your name in it, send that message over. So to all of my loyal followers, I see you liking the Instagram stories. You want your name in my show? Make it known. And that could just be saying something silly. And this is me just being silly. So I'm going to let you guys get back to the show. We're going to be back March 4th. Hopefully it is a little bit of a crazier episode, the next one. So if I need a little more time with it, please patience. But I'm going to try my best to get it out to you. Of course, I'm always so appreciative, the whole team is, of your support, your love. It's officially 9 episodes left after this one. They're going to be good. See you then. Have fun. Bye-bye.
Allow me to provide a recounting of the past 2 weeks, or more specifically, the last 6 villages. Despite my wounds and the constant ache I felt all across my body, I moved forward from Naporia. I've now been shouted at, searched, belittled, and given a hefty list of demands for aiding the villages. The story is the same every time. The village anticipates us and offers us a warm welcome, only to realize that I am not the prince. They, of course, take out this frustration on me, calling me a woman with no status nor appeal. At the reveal, one lord actually burst into tears. It's quite strange, actually. I spent so much time with Zane, the prince of one of the most powerful kingdoms, yet the lords of these minuscule towns continue trying to harbor their power over me. Zane was surrounded by riches, lavish foods, and high ceilings. Yet he never once made me feel bad for my upbringing. He never boasted about his money, and he never threatened to have me removed. Most lords felt all too important to even look me in the eye. 6 villages out of 26. I do think that I'm improving. I'm lucky to have never lost my temper, and I haven't cried at all. I spent much of the time on the road, long stretches of riding from place to place without anything interesting. Jacob and I recently left the last place, and thankfully it went well.
The Lord was nice.
Yeah, he was.
It goes so much easier when they're nice.
Maybe things will start looking up when we leave the east.
I don't know. The North is rebel territory. That could be worse.
Rebel territory?
No village will outwardly support the rebellion, but a lot of the North sympathizes with rebel sentiments.
Do you think we'll be safe?
I do. They don't want you. They want the prince. We're still hours out. We'll have to camp.
And so begins the little routine we've developed. We find a clearing in the woods and unpack our bedrolls. The air is cool and everything is quiet. There are no judging mouths or wandering eyes asking who I am or what I'm doing here. Jacob pitches our tents and gets to work on starting a fire. Within the hour, the sky is dark and we're settled.
Sorry. We don't have any meat. I wanted to hunt, but it's late already.
You're all right.
What are you thinking about?
That lord. I've realized why he was so kind now.
Why?
He has daughters.
So?
He must have thought of them. How can he treat me poorly and not expect others to do the same for his daughters? It's foolish, though.
What is?
When men can't see women as people until they have a daughter. Especially married men.
It comes with the upbringing.
Unfortunately. I think it's getting better in some cases.
That women are getting treated better?
That others are held more accountable. You see how...
Shit! What happened?
I don't know.
No, I've got it. I'll be right back. Stay here.
Maybe an animal spooked her. I really don't know what else it could be. It's Jacob. Perhaps we're being attacked or followed and we need to leave as soon as we can without any noise.
Not a word out of your mouth.
Not Jacob.
Even if you scream, I'll kill you before he gets here. And trust me, I'm fighting every bone in my body not to kill you right now. Yeah, it's getting serious now. Are you going to behave yourself if I let you go? You know what happens if you don't. You're alive. I really didn't think you were going to make it.
What do you want?
Must have been hard seeing him lay dead. Of course, he didn't die. He's much too stubborn. But you, Annie, you should be dead.
Well, I'm not.
You're not? I miss you.
You're ridiculous.
You didn't always look at me with such hate in your eyes. I never wanted to hurt you.
It's a little late for that.
You pushed first. This is my duty. As much as I like you, Annie, I have a war to win. Those lords are treating you badly.
I'm fine.
You almost drowned, I heard.
So?
Don't you see who's at fault? Who gave them this power?
Zane didn't do that.
They're all the same. It's a vicious cycle of self-righteousness. They all wanted to be different. They never will be.
What do you mean by that?
Not many people know this, but King Zareth hated his father just as much as Zane hates him.
And how would you know that?
Because I know people. The real people. I think you're real, Annie. Just misguided.
I don't care what you think of me.
I hope you know that I've done you a big favor. The castle may be trying to hide this little fall, but recognize that we haven't spread a word about it.
You have no reason to.
Oh, we've plenty of reasons. Here, I'll spell it out for you. The prince is in a secret relationship with a lady-in-waiting. He's lost his common sense, sneaking out of the palace with her, sending his elite guard on fetch quests for her, nearly dying for her.
The people wouldn't care.
The king would. It'd be a royal scandal. The king cares an awful lot about his son and how he represents the family. Scandals are no small matter. In fact, they're inexcusable according to the little contract your boyfriend signed. His head would be on the chopping block. Him and those guards you've grown so fond of. Even you.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I need you to do me a favor.
A box. No larger than my hand, wrapped in brown paper.
Hold on to that for me.
What?
Keep it in your bag, that's all.
What is it?
Don't worry about it. Don't open it, either. You'll regret it, trust me.
I'm supposed to deliver this somewhere?
Don't worry about that, either. We'll take care of it when the time comes. But if the box isn't in your bag when we need it, there will be consequences.
What's that supposed to mean?
I'm keeping your secret. You best keep mine. You won't say a word to anyone about us meeting if you know it's good for you. I have to go. But I'll see you soon.
I'm not sure exactly how long I stood there staring at where he once stood. It could have been an hour.
Lillian? She got stuck by a ledge.
Oh, is she okay?
She's fine. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. Just tired.
Okay. What do you have there?
Oh, it's nothing. A girl thing.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm going to sleep now.
We'll leave first thing in the morning.
Okay.
Good night.
Good night. If I open it, he'll know. He didn't say that. He said I'll regret it. What's that supposed to mean? I don't hold the cards here. For now, I'll keep it.
This realm is not unlike others. It may not be living, but it is certainly alive. And those who fear its potential are cowards. They only care for its appearances. If it responds to me so naturally, surely this must be where I belong. And that goddess, she can channel the void just as easily. My touch does not harm her. She's like me.
You.
She stood before me, sword drawn and eyes of blazing red. She went without her stupid helmet, her hair dark and unkempt. Her skin was pale, and her stare was cold and hard. I do not wish to fight.
Then speak.
Of what?
That palace beyond the mountains. That is your residence?
Yes.
Alone?
With my children. She's disappointed.
They're not the same. It is just you and I here.
There are others. They do not reside in this realm, but they are like us.
Why?
What?
Why are they not here?
They fear the void.
The void. That is what you call it.
What do you call it?
I don't. They are cowards.
They are.
What are you called?
Argus.
Argus.
And you? Her eyes flickered to my fingertips. Charred black. Decayed.
Inyo.
He Who Forsakes the Crown is an audio drama written and produced by Chapter 15 Studios. This episode featuring the vocal talents of Julia Orsborn, Chara Lynn, Ranger H. Fox, Sabrina May, Dante Majors, Cassius Hodges, and Ray Walker. Thank you for tuning in to this month's episode of He Who Forsakes the Crown. Join us again on March 4th. See you then.